First tonight, a Jewish temple on Maui is stressing solidarity and safety after a fake bomb threat.
It is the second Hawaii synagogue targeted recently and follows similar threats across the nation. Mahealani Richardson has the story.
The Jewish community in Kihei is tight-knit, but on New Year's Eve, a disturbing message. The Jewish congregation of Maui, Beit Shalom Synagogue of Kihei, received this bomb threat email that demanded payment in Bitcoin. The email used hate speech and derogatory language. The temple's president told Hawaii News Now they immediately contacted police.
We acted really seriously. The Maui Police Department came down. They talked to me, they cleared the area, but this was a pretty big scam and, they used threatening language and it wasn't fun.
The Jerusalem Post reports at least 6 synagogues were targeted across the nation around New Year's Day in a bomb threat Bitcoin extortion campaign and were similar to bomb threat hoaxes in 2018. Hawaii News Now reported last week Aloha Jewish Chapel on Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam received an emailed bomb threat. The one-sentence hoax said, "Alert NCIS, I'm going to bomb a synagogue December 30th. Temple Emmanuel in Nu'uanu shut down temporarily as a precaution.
The FBI will be conducting telephone and IP address analysis to identify a suspect in this case.
No device was found, and Maui police say there are no known suspects. But Kihei patrol officers beefed up their presence to ensure public safety.
Unfortunately, this is a common experience at synagogues across the nation, where people misdirect their political frustrations to target Americans seeking to exercise their faith. I would expect that increased vigilance across the board is going to be taking place at Hawaii synagogues.
Meanwhile, Beit Shalom's president takes photographs to share her faith. She and temple leaders want the community to choose connection over fear, support safety and resilience by donating, and join a special prayer service Friday night at 5:30 in person and on Zoom.
The fact is that we're still here and we're going to keep going, and we show strength in these moments.
Mahealani Richardson, Hawaii News Now.